Hey y'all, deck's done. It's time for next project, which this video may be more than one project. Depends on how much I can get done this week. I am going to be working on that part of the roof, just the little front face part. As you can see, I've got, my finger's big close up, that little trim piece right there started. I'm going to be putting these up. So I've never done this before. I really don't know what I'm doing, but it's not that hard. Surely not. We'll see. All right. Sorry, my glasses are starting to really mess with my ears, so I've taken them off. But I know it's weird to look at me like this. There is first run. Doesn't look too bad. Same color as the house. Let's keep going. Seems to be working pretty good. All right, finished. It took 5 pieces. Well, 5. They're 1 foot sections, or 1 foot tall, and then 2. That bottom row is, sorry, I'm looking where my finger is on in front of my face, not where the camera is. But in that bottom row, there's like a hook, like a shelf or something that it sits in. I don't know if that's what it's for, but it's what I'm using it for. I nailed that up, screwed that up first, and then I screwed the first big long panel, which is actually this one, to about there. And then I measured from there to the wall, which goes this way, so I had to measure out from the top to there and the bottom, where, you know, where it stopped being. So much math. I hate math, but for this I'm actually pretty decent at it, because measured it out, slid the one piece under the back one, which there's like an inch gap between the ends of them that the tops and the bottoms won't touch, but the middle will overlap, so that's good. So that's what that one did. And then the next one, the second one up, I did this end and went this way, where that gap is. And then measured that one and slid it in, which obviously I had to cut some of the end off to get it right, but I mean, it wasn't, it's an angle, so I know where to angle it at. So I slid it in, put it down, and then did this one, measured, cut the angle, and slid it into the pocket, screwed that side and screwed all the way over. And then the, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one worked in the top there, but there's still like a 6-inch section that was still visible. So I used some of the excess, and cut that one up to do the very top. If you look really close, you might be able to see it. No, it's too dark under there, because I did a great job and you can't tell. Next project, my least favorite thing to do in the world, painting. I got this. I actually went to Lowe's, picked this up, brought this down to the paint department, had them blend this to look exactly like that. So hopefully that's as close as possible. I am only painting this because this is so ugly. So hopefully it's not lighter than this. Hopefully it's a little darker, because it would look better if it's darker than that, and it's just different color, but it matches the walls better. But that's what I'm about to do. So If you're wondering, oh, did he get a tripod? No. That's my ladder with a piece of wood. I just laid my phone up against it. I don't buy useless crap. So most of this week has not really been something I'd put on a video. I mowed the grass, weed eated, beat up more of the underpinning with the weed eater. I haven't figured out how to stop doing that. But I got our chicken coop cut out of the ground, or detached from the ground. The neighbors want it. They have ducks. I don't know why they want it, but they do. So I'm gonna eventually slide it over to their property. We had a duct that had some funk in it that smelled, and I replaced that. It is in a crawl space. It has very little room and a whole lot of spider webs and nastiness. So I wasn't trying to pull my phone out and touch it while I was under there, so you didn't get any of that footage. I have started to clean out my garage. Jamie says I'm a hoarder. I am not able to say no when somebody gives me something, especially if it works, because I could either sell it or I can fix it and use it. Well, fix it, sorry. If it works, I don't need to fix it, right? But if it's close to working, like a washing machine, actually a washer and dryer stackable unit, the washing machine worked, the dryer went out in it, and I'd planned on just fixing the heating element in it, or whatever it was that went out in it, but I ran out of time to work on it, and honestly, I'm not fighting with it anymore. So that's a big heavy piece of metal for the scrapyard. I got one load on the trailer now. Probably could hold more, but I mean, I put a 2,200 pound axle underneath it. It had a 1,200 to start with, but I don't know that the trailer will hold 2,200 pounds. I mean, it does on with lumber, I'm sure. Nah, there's no way that's 2,200 pounds still. But yeah, so I'm running to the scrapyard now. We'll see what else we can get done this week on this video. Come watch me scrap. And here we are. Trying to film and do this at the same time might be not working, but for now, I bring the truck up to the scale. Some little guy comes out, he weighs, he writes down the weight, and then takes my info, and then on my way out they weigh it again empty and subtract the weight and give me money. Let's not get in front of this guy. So I don't know what he's doing. Alright, he weighed me, got my info. I asked him some questions too, so let's just see how this rolls. I pull down, they empty me, I help them. Actually, I don't even help them. They empty the trailer for me. I'll take the straps off, and then they'll do the thing, and I'll come back and get my money. Alright, we are, yeah, crap. We are empty. I don't know if you can see that. We're heading back to the other scale to subtract the difference and get some money. So, we got $42. 7,280 is what I weighed coming in, 6,580 is what I weighed coming out, 700 pounds total, $42. I can't do math. So I built these stairs for 6 months ago, a year ago, I don't even know. Never put the spindles in. Dogs go up and down it. Kids are, and I hardly ever go up and down it. Dogs don't fall off the side. And some of these spindles, I think that one is loose. So I'm gonna tighten them down, fix them, reinstall them. In case you didn't know, we were gonna put a hot tub. I actually put a hot tub in here and was getting ready to wire it. And as I was filling it with water, I found a leak. I fixed the leak. It found the next leak. I fixed that leak. It found the next leak, and I kind of gave up on this hot tub. It was a free one. I had another hot tub that I put in the garage and got it going and had it running all winter long. But no sense in selling a house with a hot tub that isn't the greatest hot tub. They'll probably... it's not the hot tub that I'm gonna go with, so I'm gonna do away with the hot tub. It's gonna go away. I just haven't figured out how to get it off the porch yet, because it took 3 of us to get it on, and it was a pain in the butt for that. But also I'm gonna take that the railing down. And that door, or the gate, there's another set of stairs over there. I can just have 2 sets of stairs on this porch. But for now, until I can get everything off the porch, there's no sense. Sorry, I'm really close. Until I can get everything off of the porch, there's no sense in opening up that part, because the dogs will get into everything that's over there. So, just doing spindles today. I had a few that I took down from that where I cut it out, and I let them sit in the dirt until they're dirty. I'm gonna pressure wash when I'm done, but I'm putting back up the few dirty ones that I had, and then I'll use the new ones from here on forward. Nothing was wrong with them. I mean, yeah, they're dirty as crap, but honestly, the deck is dirty and probably could use some paint. But I'm gonna do something with that roof. I don't want anybody seeing all the nails from the metal roof, or the screws from the metal roof through there. So I'll put something up. But, and that will be a different style door. The dogs have torn it up going in. But, I mean, I'm not redoing this deck after the front deck. It only cost me $1,000 for the front deck, which $1,000 is a lot, but not for a whole deck build. And honestly, this one doesn't need anything. It's not rotten, it's just ugly. So sanding and painting, I ain't got time for all that. So it's the back deck. We hardly ever used it. Maybe the next people will hardly ever use it. If they ask for it, I'll give them money off or something. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully they don't see this video before we put it up for sale. Quick trick to know how far to put them: just put a 2x4 in between them. Obviously you want it to be level, so I put it a little higher than the bottom. It's level, trust me. My eyeball knows better. I've been doing this long enough. But 2x4 is the perfect space in between them. So while I'm doing this, I'm realizing when I built these, I like to do the grain like they tell you to do. You know, they say that if the grain is round like a rainbow, it's gonna not pit, not bow, because that's the way it goes. But if you look closely at this one, it actually does bow the other way. That one's even worse. That one's even worse. And that one's the worst. and they're all facing the right direction. The one that's not, that I messed up on, is actually pretty flat. So I feel like that whole facing the right way thing is wrong. It's not the correct way of doing things. All right, one side down. Not too bad, huh? Doesn't look as good as the front side, I don't think. I'm not really a fan of spindles. I don't even know if that's what they're called. But they work, they do their job, they're cheap. So back deck gets cheap, front deck has to look good. It's got to be the thing that sells the house. They pull up and they go, man, this house looks amazing. And then they get to the backyard and they're like, yeah, well. And we're finished. Looks good. The dogs like it. A nice pretty railing and stairs going up to the, straight up to the door, instead of having to go all the way over here and come around. The dogs had the hardest time figuring that out. And then once I put stairs here and this was their only way up and down, they kept going to the other steps and waiting, and I'd open the door and be like, hey, and they'd be like, what? I don't know what to do. And they'd come out to the yard and look at me. I'd have to come walk down the stairs and be like, come on. And then finally one day it just clicked on them and they were like, oh, this is the way in now. Okay. Completely forgot to video this. Probably a good thing because I had a temper tantrum. Trailers are not to be repaired. They're to burn down and die and move on and buy another one, because they're not built to be anything replaced. They're not built to hang pictures on. They're not built to mount a TV to the wall for sure. But when you change an outlet to one that you want Alexa to turn the light on and off for you, you have to pull out this different style light switch and put in a box, and then run the wires through the box, and then wire the new switch. Right, there's my switch. I'm taking it out. There's the box that I had to have for it. There's the other box for the other switch. But when I did all that, the walls are like a 1/4 inch drywall. It's the thinnest drywall they make, and it's so paper thin that it rips when you're trying to push wires into that box. It just tears the wall up. So I tore the wall up when I put that switch in, and we just lived with it because I was not going to deal with it at the moment. Now I've dealt with it, and I had a temper tantrum, so I'm glad you didn't see it. But I'm just telling you now, don't ever buy a trailer, and if you have to, don't ever add or repair anything in it. It's the dumbest thing you'll ever do. So layer 1 is done. It's nice. It needs sanded a little bit better, but like, there was an outlet here, there was an outlet here. They're separate because all the wires getting shoved into the wall together is too much for this paper thin stuff. I managed to get it in there, to get the switches on. They work, as you can see. That's for the outside one. But I had to make a new patch, and it's not great. I really should have shoved something back there behind it like I always do, but the last time I did that in a trailer, the screw pulled through the wall because whatever it was back there was too heavy for the paper thin wall. So it's just gonna have to be what it is. And if you look close enough, I don't know if you can tell it from the camera, that outlet is crooked because I cannot get it to bite and bite and be straight at the same time with whatever little bit of paper thin wall. So it's just gonna have to be ugly. but it'll be painted a new color. Hopefully they won't notice it. I got an oversized outlet cover, so whatever. Sand it a little bit and put a second coat, and then sand that, and then it'll be ready for paint. All right, a little light sanding. I'm not a lefty, so bear with me. Just making it smooth. I put drywall all the way into the box to try and strengthen this. If you look closely, I can push and it still moves. But hopefully nobody's just leaning against the wall when they're trying to turn the light switch on. And sand it and make it smooth. And then if I go too far, I'll have to put another coat on. This is the line of the tape, I think. I've already gone too far a little bit there. But it'll look good when I'm done. Obviously, cover plate's gonna cover here, so I'm not fighting with right there too much. But I will just a light skin coat right over top of that, just to smooth it the last bit out. I'm so glad they made the pink to the white stuff. That's obviously the new stuff. It's pink when it goes on, it's white when it dries. Funny thing is, my fingers are now my sandpaper. Once it gets to this level, I can actually sand with just my hand and get it as smooth as I want it to be. Some people might not be able to do that, but I've built up sandpaper hands over time. So this is one of the things that I'm gonna miss about this place is we've got a little path. We've got a little path. It's overgrown right now. I haven't really messed with it in a while, but I'm in the county, so nobody really bothers me, first of all. But second of all, we've got a path to get to a creek. There's a hill on the other side and nobody is back there. There's nothing for at least a mile or more, but even still, that's a mountain that goes up, and so I shoot down. Now lefty. Some got in the way. There's nothing back there anyway. I also don't even have a target right now. I just kind of playing around, plinking. So with that, that's this week's video worth of crap done to this trailer. One step closer, one more week closer to moving into the camper and putting this sucker up for sale. Tune in next week to see what other crap I've gotten done, which hopefully a little bit more stuff than what I posted on this video. I did get more stuff done than I posted on this video, but some of it had just it either couldn't be, I'm not two-handed enough to make a video while doing the work, and some of it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to, so I'm not posting it. So tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel. See ya.